Last night is the true tale sign of why boxers may need to stay more active opposed to fighting once a year. I think most boxers should fight at least 3 times a year. That 1 or 2 times a year, you're not active enough, man. And fights like the Peter Quillin and the Alfredo Angulo fight is a pure example why boxers need to fight more often. I mean, you can see the ring rust. You can see just the inactivity. It all caught up and it all played throughout the fight, and you can see it in his action. And I tell all boxers, man, you got to stay active. You gotta run with the punches. Find some fights. I mean, if you can't find any major fights, just find anyone that you can just, find you a bum. I hate to say it that way. Or just find someone to fight. Just find someone to keep your record going, keep you active. Because like I said last night, the fight between Alfredo Angulo and Peter Quillin is the pure example. Alright, so they had a fight last night. It was a fight against, again, like I said, Alfredo Angulo versus Peter Quillin in Robobank Arena in Bakersfield, California. Okay? Angulo has a record of 26-7 with 21 KOs versus Peter Quillin, who is the former middleweight titleist, okay? And his record is 34-1 and 23 KOs. Angulo is trained by Abel Sanchez. I'm sure most of you guys may know who that is. He used to train Triple G before he was fired by Triple G after Triple G's last fight with Canelo Alvarez. Okay, in the beginning, let's say the first 5 rounds, Peter Quillin was very active. He was the more active fighter, let's say that, and he was letting his hands go. He was jabbing, and he was actually taking over the fight and defeating Alfredo Angulo. It wasn't until later in the 5th round when Angulo landed a left hook against the rope that kind of like startled Peter Quillin. And not too long after that, the belt, the fight was all that round was over. And from that point on, man, it was straight Angulo's fight. Angulo was the one coming forward. Angulo was the one that was just leading the fight, man. Peter Quillin was just a sitting duck. He was just sitting there. He wasn't as active. He wasn't throwing his jabs like he was in the first 5 rounds. I'll actually say this: if Angulo would have used a jab, Angulo would have took him out of there. That's just straight up. Angulo was coming at him. He was charging at him. Getting him against the ropes, and kind of like startling him with some of the punches. But he should have used the jab, and I guarantee you, Peter Quillin wouldn't have had any answers to the jab. I mean, it was just like I said, it was the fight of the ring rust. That's what I call it. Both fighters looking all exhausted and tired. Angulo having more energy though, looking more towards the end of the fight, looking like he was a more prepared fighter. Towards the end of the fight than Peter Quillin, who came on strong in the first 5 rounds. And I say the last 5 rounds, you can give it to Angulo. So a split decision, win by Angulo. That was the judges scored it. Me personally, I scored it as a draw because I scored it 5-5, straight up. Peter Quillin winning 5 straight rounds, and then Angulo winning 5 straight rounds. It's only a 10-round fight. So, but again, it shows you, these fighters got to stay active. They got to move. They got to find someone to fight. They got to just stay more active, man. Both of these guys, Angulo may have another fight because somebody may figure, all right, this guy's still a contender. I'd take him on at 168. 160 or 168. Where Peter Quillin, he's still a young fighter. He's 36 years old. You know, he may have a little bit left in the tank, but he needs to figure it out and figure it out soon. He needs to fight more often. I mean, it's only September. I would say at least by January, he needs to get back in that ring. If you don't get in the ring early quarter of next year, you can just hang it up, man, because this ring rust, this hardly fighting, this once a year fighting stuff is just not working for him. He's not active enough. You know, with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I'm just bringing you this news, man, because I wanted to see Peter Quillin take this one, but he didn't do enough, man. He didn't do enough. He was being chased during the second half of the fight the entire time, and he was just throwing some haymakers that was missing, hoping that one of them would land on Angulo. And Angulo was the busy fighter. Angulo had more air. Angulo was doing everything it took, man. You know, Peter Quillin was trying to stand in the pocket, but he was getting caught. He was getting caught every time he tried to rumble by staying in the pocket. He shouldn't have did that, man. He should have just, he just looked very exhausted, man. He looked like he was just out of gas in the second round of the fight, second half of the fight. You know, we prepare. You guys should prepare for that. Prepare for that second half of the fight. First half of the fight, everybody got gas. So that second half of the fight is where you show the true grit, the true determination of who you are, what type of fighter you are, if you're prepared. The second half of the fight is, when all that comes out. And I didn't see that in Peter Quillin. Go back to the drawing board, man. Do what you gotta do, and let's get this party started, man. Let's just prepare for it. And Angulo, congratulations, man. It's the victory that you actually needed. If you want to extend your career, Peter Quillin, this is one that you didn't need. But go back to the drawing board. You still got a couple more years left of fighting, and let's get this stuff corrected. Okay. With that being said, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, man. Show me some love. And with that being said, this is Nick of BNboxing. Peace.